Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, and this video, we're breaking down Black Mirror. Continuing our Season 7 Explained series, we're now tackling Bete Noire. Bete Noire. Can't pronounce it, but this phrase carries a lot with it, and typically it means a person or thing someone really dislikes, which we'll get into more as we talk about the episode. Throughout this video, we'll be going through it all and discussing everything in it. So grab your Bernie's chicken, please hit the thumbs up, and if you enjoy it, make sure you subscribe for breakdowns on the rest of the season.
No spoilers.
Well, you're in the wrong place for that, mate, and with that out of the way, thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into Black Mirror. Okay, so the episode follows Maria, who's currently working at a food quality company. This involves taste testing and, well, judging things, which is seen in a lot of the staff, including the guy who points out the Jack Sparrow Easter egg. Getting a taste for things, using your intuition, and that's all things that kind of play into what happens. We begin with a focus on the cat for Bonnie's chicken, and this was where Kenny worked at in Shut Up and Dance. We then see Maria go to her company Ditter, and this is given a lot of nods throughout the season. It popped up in episode 1 and returns down the line, which we'll talk about further in other breakdowns. It actually turns out it's also located opposite Tuckersoft, which are the company behind Bandersnatch. Inside the tasting room, we also see a bar for Hucklebuck. This is the name of the technology from the entire History of You episode that allows people to replay things they've seen. Beyond that though, the session seems to be pretty straightforward until a woman from Maria's school arrives named Verity. Turns out there was a hell of a lot of rumours about her that basically ruined her time in school. These rumours included doing stuff with a teacher, and from what we can gather, it ruined both of their lives. Nicknamed Milkmaid, Verity has clearly worked on herself since then. Maria's worried she's bad news though, and even tries to sabotage her opportunities like getting a job. She also badmouths her, and throughout the episode, we start to learn the truth. In the end, it turns out Maria was the one who spread the rumours about her at school, and on a second viewing, you could see her as potentially doing the same thing. It highlights how people can still take a dislike to someone and then set out to ruin their lives. For no real reason. They say kids are cruel constantly throughout the episode, but in the end, adults can be this as well. In opposite to this, Verity seems to be influential and well liked by everyone. But someone keeps drinking the almond milk. Strange things happen because of Verity, and lots of weird things start to go on. Maria very much becomes the master of her own misery though. Maria then ends up becoming paranoid, and she starts to think Verity's getting revenge and making her make mistakes. As you do, you start to suspect she can alter reality, and maybe Screen Crusher's cheating to get more views than me. It makes sense now I think about it. Having just watched Mulholland Drive though, I actually saw a lot of similarities. Not only is there the blonde bob, but there's also the questioning of what's really going on. To me, that film has always been about coming up with lies and fantasies to cope, and you could sort of see that happening with Maria, if you don't take the episode as being literally what's portrayed, which I'll talk about later. Now we also have rapper Doc Brown in the episode, and Doc Brown is of course a character who could change time, which was an Easter egg I appreciated. Upon looking at Verity's LinkedIn, we can also see she worked at Wayhaven, which in the Black Mirror universe is a chain of hotels. Below this we can also see a reference to Culworth, which is where they filmed White Bear. Telling her boyfriend about Verity, we also see as he plays on a headset. This is actually a play off the Apple Vision, and we've seen a range of headsets throughout the series. We also have days popping up on the screen, which feels like it's taking notes from The Shining. That is of course about someone being driven mad, though there may also be supernatural elements. There are things that disprove this in the film though, and you can view it as being either real or hallucinations, which I think plays nicely into the episode as well. The hat at the start though, that clearly says Barney's, and you do begin to wonder if Maria's right. Alongside this, she's desperate to please Mr. Ditter, who comes in to visit on a Thursday. However, Maria makes a massive mistake, and they end up feeding him meat ingredients. We only ever really see things from Maria's perspective though, and it makes it seem like she's calm and collected. Others see her as shouting and being rageful though, and it might even hint at the ending being all in her head. Slowly, Maria becomes fixated on Verity, and she believes she's on a path of revenge. Her old school friend takes her own life, and it seems like Verity hasn't forgiven them for not hitting the thumbs up. Turns out her past friend lost her grip on reality, and Maria's going through a similar thing now. It felt very similar to things like Smile, but I love how you had the angle that Verity might actually be getting revenge. In the end, it does seem like Maria's vindicated, and after apologizing to Verity, she ends up drinking the almond milk, which in itself an Easter egg. Producer Jessica Rhodes told the Radio Times that Raymond Milk is a throwback to USS Callister. Beyond that, Raymond is also the name of the main character in Men Against Fire. So it's great getting focus on that, as it kind of reveals the truth that this is indeed as twisted as those other Black Mirror episodes. Careful when you're drinking it though, love, you might spill that milk and need a new top. Luckily, we've just launched 2 new Last of Us inspired shirts on the merch store. We will of course be covering the new series every week, and to celebrate we've dropped these brand new designs. We have the Angel of Death cordyceps and also play on the guy turning into fungus at his computer. You can pick up double-sided versions as well, and if you buy 2, you get 15% off, Best shirts we've ever done, and it all helps videos like this get made, so huge thank you to everyone who's picked one up. I did that as a witty ad read when I was doing Common People, but there's no witty ad read here, so that's a bit. After checking the footage, it seems like Maria drank the milk, and thus she knows her suspicions are right. You might also notice that Verity constantly grabs her necklace throughout the episode, and this really hit home when I went back on a second watch. Slowly she alienates and isolates Maria, and after she gets fired, she follows Verity home to a massive mansion. It's here that Verity reveals what's going on, and the name Verity in itself actually means truth. However, in the Black Mirror universe, the truth is what she decides. It's revealed the necklace is actually connected to a quantum compliant computer that's located in the house. They did say Verity was good at computers at school, to be fair, which looking back I wish I'd stuck more in at IT as well. As Verity explains though, it's not technically changing anything, it's just sending them to a reality where whatever Verity said is true is what's in that reality. So again, tying back to that idea of Verity meaning truth. Across the infinite timelines of the multiverse, Verity is choosing one to alter the events with her and Maria. Maria and Verity are the only ones who retain the memories of the other realities, and thus it's driving her insane. On the flip side of this, Verity's lived a very lavish life and has done several big things and dated several celebrities. She was even queen of the universe, but none of this healed her pain. So now all of this has been done to ruin Maria's life. I did notice the pendant was the shape of a teardrop, and it's clearly an instrument channeling her pain. It's here that we also get the reveal that Maria was the one who spread the rumour. The milkmaid became Verity's reality, and thus she's getting revenge by changing Maria's. However, it may be possible, again, that this is all Maria trying to cope with how cruel she was. Racked with guilt, she may be hallucinating this entire thing to give herself a reason as to why she's so bad. Though I do think about the episode being more literal, I do think the interpretation's there, and yeah, let me know below. In the end though, it really says that one can't escape their past. Just in the same way Verity came back for Maria, Verity couldn't also silence her own torment. So both characters are being tortured by what they did in the past. No matter what Verity did within the multiverse, she was unable to silence her pain. It's kind of a cautionary tale about how being unable to forgive can destroy you, and in the end it leads to Verity's demise. Grabbing a policeman's gun, Maria ends up shooting her and grabbing the pendant before clearing her name. Getting the police to worship her, she then makes herself the Empress of the universe. However, we do know this doesn't bring happiness with it. Verity was still stuck on revenge, and though it seems like a triumphant moment, there's a bittersweet edge to it. I don't feel like Verity's really learned her lesson, and she was still intent on bringing down Verity even before she knew the truth about the reality-changing computer. Due to her immediate quest for power and being worshipped, she's also still got a darker side to her. She could wish to go back and heal Verity's pain, make her better, or make sure everyone's happy and subscribe to me, but instead, she's doing things for her own gain. Personally, I actually think she's going to go off and torment other versions of Verity and destroy her life just like how she destroyed hers. However, she destroyed her life in the first place, but I didn't really get the feeling she was willing to accept that. Though she admitted to her guilt, she also put the blame on other students and said how it wasn't really her fault. So she's learned nothing. All hail the Empress of the Universe! I even thought at one point she might be dead and she's just here imagining her ultimate fantasy. So there's lots of layers to it, and obviously I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episode. Please drop a like on the video and also leave a comment with your thoughts below. Did you know that members of the channel also get early access to videos? If you click the join button, you'll get at least one breakdown a week before anyone else. Costs just 99 cents a month, and we try to set it where hopefully it's not a lot to you, but if a lot of you do it, then it will mean a lot to us. Now if you want something else to watch, we've got our breakdown of the first episode on screen right now. Huge thank you to everyone who's checked that, and with that out of the way, I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully you've been the best. I've been Paul, and I'll see you in the next one, pal. Take care. Peace.